today I'll be showing you all of the modifications I've done to my BMW M2, and I thought there's no better day to wear my M shirt. Before I start the video, I'd just like to say that one of my subscribers, so one of you guys, mentioned this would be a good idea, and I totally agreed, so I'm making the video. So if you think, if you have any video ideas that you want me to do, I'll most likely do them. Just leave it in the comments. I'm gonna try to go chronologically, but I don't exactly remember the order of the mods I've done. But I know the first two mods were, you know what, let's hop in the car and I'll show you. That means you too, Daryl. You gotta walk around. You can keep recording. So the first mod I ever did, I don't exactly remember, but it was either this red start stop button or my carbon fiber mirror caps. And the reason I wanted to do this red start stop button is because when I bought this car, I went to the dealership and they had a competition, an M2 competition that had a red button. I thought that looked so cool. So I always wanted a red button in this car, and that's the first thing I did. Funny story actually, since this doesn't come stock with a red button, it has orange light, which I can somewhat show you there. Has orange light, whereas the competition ones have yellow light, and the CS ones have yellow light. So it looks a little bit weird at night, but you know what? I love it. Since we're in the inside of the car, I'll just try to go in order of the inside mods first. The first thing that I did, I believe, was the gear selector, this plate, and the parking brake handle. The thing is, when I got this car, this boot had a hole in it. So I also bought this, and when I bought the boot, it came with a new handle. So this handle is new. It's not the one that came with the sets, and I still have the old handle. The next thing I did in the interior was actually this interior lighting, which is actually quite fun to put in. I just got some trim tools, and I tried between this, and I put it in. And then the next thing that I did was actually this Alcantara, I guess, radio stack, which I had to take this whole thing out, and then I had to unscrew this. And when I did that, I had to put this in again. And I really screwed up there because I took the whole dash out, this whole dash cluster out. And what I had to do was take it back out to put the interior lighting in. So it was a little bit of a process, took a couple hours. This was actually a really fun thing to do. Next was these carbon, I don't know what these are called, door handle buckets, as well as the controls for the windows and stuff. And I actually got that on a very interesting German website. It's all in German, so you're gonna have to use Google Translate on it. That's what I did. But the support does speak English. I can leave a link for that in the description. The next thing I did, just pass me the camera, please, Daryl, were these carbon paddle shifters. And the thing, if you wanna do paddle shifter extensions, or not extensions, but longer paddle shifters, you are gonna have issues shifting up here and down here. You're just gonna have to shift like you normally used to. You still can shift here, but it's just pretty flimsy, and I think it's more so just the design of how BMW made these paddle shifters, or made the mounts for the regular paddle shifters, rather than product quality or anything. Next interior mod is actually, let me zoom out, this steering wheel. This is the electronic BMW steering wheel, and I will show you how it lights up when I start the car. That's really cool, isn't it? And then it says M Performance there. Yeah, would you like to hold this for a sec?
Motion detection recording.
So you press these two buttons. I have it set up to show, let me just turn that off.
Continuous recording.
I actually have it set up to show temperatures. You can set it up to show a bunch of different things, but that's what I chose to do. I also did interior lighting down here and at the bottom, at the back of the seats. But since I put in new seats, I'm just waiting to get the electric, or the LED badges to start glowing. And then once I do that, I will put the interior lighting on the bottom of the seats and show you guys that. And it's also sunny, so it's not gonna look too good. That's it for the interior. Well, there is one more thing, but I'll show you when we step outside. So let's go outside, Daryl. So the last thing for the interior were these seats, which my cameraman, Daryl, swapped the stock M2 seats with me for his M2 CS seats, which was very nice of him, and also kind of selfish because he just wanted the comfort. No, I'm just kidding, but in all seriousness, it was really nice of him, and he actually prefers my seat, so it was a win-win.
I think we better change the story here. I came down on a Sunday morning and my seats had been changed. I didn't give them to him. He stole them.
That's not true. Look how beautiful these seats are. I was actually looking for these for about 4 months, and then when Daryl got his car, we decided to swap seats, and wow, I love these seats. They've got holes in them, you know, so your passengers can tickle you and stuff. But honestly, these are so cool, and when you accelerate, you can feel the holes in the back of the seat when you're pushing your seat. These seats are amazing. I love them, and it probably bothers some people that it's red and blue, but I actually quite like it because it matches my brakes. Come here, Dale. Let's go show them the exterior now. So, first exterior mod was these mirror caps. These are the carbon fiber mirror caps, and this wasn't next, but since we're on the mirror caps, these are sequential turn signals. I'll just show you that right now with my key. I love these things. Anyways, Gamer World also, that's one of the last interior mods that I did. I bought the side license plate holder right there from them, and they actually sent me a package of free gummy bears, so I thought I would give them free advertising in return for that nice favor. Next here we have side markers. These are OEMs, so these were extremely expensive, but they're very nice and I like them. And the most noticeable thing, if you just look at the whole car itself, you notice that's not a factory BMW color, and that's because it's a wrap. So, look here, the car was originally black, and I got it wrapped in this color. People always compliment this color. They love it, and I love it. But after seeing Daryl's M2 CS with the lighter Misano blue, I don't know. I still love this color, but I also like the lighter blue. If you look up here, you'll see that I have a carbon fiber roof with a sunroof in the middle of it. So the way I did this is I bought the carbon fiber roof from I&D. I got a hacksaw and I cut a hole in it. I'm just kidding. It's a wrap as well, but it looks really good. It's not as shiny as real carbon fiber, but it still looks good. And hey, best of both worlds, sunroof and carbon fiber roof. But no one else needs to know about that except for you. And when I got the wrap, then I also got this carbon fiber spoiler, which I asked the guy who did my wrap to do because I was just worried that I might damage the wrap. That guy's actually really good. He's the guy who did my tints, which is another thing that I did for both of my cars because I have an X5 as well. He did the tints for Daryl, and he's going to do the tints for one of my friends. Overall, great stuff, so I'll be putting his shop in the description as well. Next up, I also got him to do the badges when I did the wrap because I wanted the black badges, and I think they look so much better, especially on the darker car. I took pretty much all the chrome off the car because I used to have a chrome grille, chrome side markers with the black plastic, and I just prefer this a lot more. Next thing, this diffuser. I did this diffuser. With Daryl. Pretty much all my work I've done with Daryl or with my friends or just all of us together. And this was almost perfect fitment, but I had to drill it out slightly just to get it fitting. Just a few millimeters off, but that's fine. Next thing, these side markers, which you don't really see on, if you want to show them on the other side too, these side markers. And the thing about these is, they look amazing and they make the back end of the car look wider. I'll just show you for a second. Zoom out a bit. That just changes the whole appearance of the car. And I absolutely love them. They're pretty rare. You don't see them on many M2s. And actually, you know what, now that I think about it, the same time that I put these on, I actually ordered something else and put something else on the same day. And that would be the carbon fiber fangs. Daryl, don't get too close. I didn't do the best job putting them on. We also did the carbon fiber grills. That's another thing that got done at the time of the wrap because the grills were already out, so I just gave it to the guy who was doing my wrap, and it worked out perfectly. We got the side plate holder right here, and if you look in the middle, you've got the nice holes, weight savings, you know what I'm talking about, right? And since we're already at the front of the car, let's just look at this lip. This was really fun to put on, and underneath of it, there's actually Slip-Low. So I've scraped many times, and Slip-Low has protected the lip every single time, which is awesome. if we come down here, Daryl, you're gonna have to, yep. If you come down there, there's a CSF intercooler, and I'll show you more engine modifications in a second. But first, I'd like to show you my DIY work with a Staples binder. I took a Staples binder because the stock intercooler is actually slightly wider than the CSF one. There's just plastic on the sides, which would act as a shroud. And since this doesn't have that, I had to make my own shroud with a binder, which is right there. There's a binder there and a binder there. It's held on with 3M tape and a lot of zip ties. Now, I'll show you inside the engine bay, which is far superior to any other car because it's made out of platinum, that's why. I just got the best time. Alright, so we've got the engine intake. That was one of my favorite mods. It added a whole new sound to the car. Air intake is amazing. It changes the whole experience of the car. It adds another sound, just a beautiful intake noise. I love this. It adds whooshes, turbo flutter, everything. You just hear so much more, and I love it. Next thing, when we did the intake, or when we did the intercooler, we did the charge pipe right there. And the charge pipe and intercooler took us 3 days and 20 hours to do. DIY. Don't do it yourself. But in all honesty, it was super fun. It's just that we didn't jack up the car enough for the first day, so we were just struggling with that. We only had plastic ramps that you put under the wheels, so we were struggling with that. And then the next day we went and got some jack stands, and it made everything so much easier. The reason for the third day is just to put the bumper back on and everything like that. So if you are doing an intercooler, take the bumper out. It makes it a lot easier. Next thing over here is one of my favorites again, a catless downpipe. So the catless downpipe is where the O2 sensor is over there. Let me just zoom in right there. That's the downpipe, that big silver thing. Another cool thing about this downpipe is actually that when you're driving, you can hear so many turbo noises coming out of the back, as well as with my intake. Awesome stuff. We'll start under the bridge. Well, that was quite fun. I love this car. And then the final thing in the engine bay is this beautiful blue aluminum oil cooler accessories. I'm gonna close up the hood. By the way, this hood's gonna be looking really different soon. I'm not gonna say anything more than that. If you look here, this was my favorite thing ever probably on my car. These red brakes, the big brake kit. So, Daryl, you wanna come show them the back before I explain that? That's the back. For the longest time, I wanted the gold carbon ceramic brakes, and I believe it's about 16,000 Canadian to retrofit that. So it was sort of like an end goal with the car, just the cherry on top of the whipped cream sundae root beer float, right? But but then I found that I could get a red brake kit for only $8,000. The way I got this and the brakes and every other modification was through my e-commerce business, and at the start of the year we had a very large record month, so I went and bought my red dream brakes, which I was wanting for a very long time. I also bought the steering wheel at the same time, or slightly after, but yeah, those red brakes, I love them. One of my favorite installs. We started at around 6 p.m. We finished, I think, at 7 a.m. There were just a lot of issues that went through, like the rear dust plates needed to be reshaped and stuff, because it's one piece. It's put on when the axle's put on in the factory. So a bunch of problems with that, but that's fine. And we stayed up all night, and then we drove the car to do the full break-in. We drove about 80 kilometers away to a nice place to drive. It's called King City, if you're familiar with Ontario. And we broke the brakes in the first day. So that was really cool. I love the brakes. Next thing, mud flaps. These are great. These are absolutely excellent, especially with the wide body. So if you have an M car, great investment. They're only like $100. And these caps are awesome. I love these. I have a funny story about these. You want to come here? So I used to have the plastic ones, and I went to my mechanic. Great guy, actually. I'll probably put him in the description too, because great guy. And if you need anything done in Toronto, you should go to him. I used to have plastic caps on here. We were doing some stuff. I was just trying to see if my rear tires would fit on the front, because I wanted to get wider tires. And we lost the caps, or maybe they flew off when I was driving. I don't know. So they actually gave me metal caps for free, which was awesome. The metal caps are great. And last but not least, actually no, before we get into that, these wheel locks are special. They actually rotate if you try to put anything around it. They're really cool, and they're also longer, and the reason for that is because I have 10 mil spacers, which I forgot to mention. These wheels, it's a funny story, because I was looking at, I'm gonna blur that out because I just said what my next mod is, and that's gonna be a surprise for you guys. But it was either one thing or these wheels, and the wheels costed a little bit more than the other thing I wanted. And I was talking with Daryl. I was talking to him about, oh, should I get the wheels or should I get the other thing? And he just kept saying, get the other thing. And the reason for that is because he actually bought these wheels for me and surprised me at the tire shop, because we were just doing something with his car and my car at the same time, and I came out and my car had different wheels on it. So thank you, Daryl. It was a great surprise. But yeah, I'm very happy with the wheels. Daryl's great. Wheels and seats were gifts. Everything else I bought on my car. And yeah, we can just do a little walk around quickly just to show the car. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please subscribe and leave a like. That would be awesome. And leave a comment if you want to see some other videos, or if you have any mod suggestions. Anyways, that's my car. Those are all the modifications I did with a little bit of a backstory around it. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. Have a great day.